On this episode of Made in Michigan, we're headed to Alpena to learn more about the microbrewery that brings big flavor to the Northeast side. It's a family affair at Austin Brothers Beer Company, so we are going to chat with the brothers themselves, Brant and Blake Austin.
Slogan is brothers make the best beer, but also we try to have a beer for everybody.
We take it serious and we try to make it where everyone feels like they can come here and be part of the Austin Brothers family.
While the brothers do take the business seriously, they have a lot of fun along the way, specifically naming their beers.
Since we've opened, I think we've made 193 different beers in 7 years.
But how did this all start? With all great family tales, Brant and Blake have their dad Dana to thank.
Before craft beer was like craft beer and kind of super popular, he was always into it. We'd go on family road trips and he would go 100 miles out of the way to go to this little microbrewery.
Beer making was in their blood.
My brother started pulling down all my dad's old homebrew stuff, and we kind of got into it, and we would hang out with each other, have friends over, and it was just for fun. Like, we had no intentions of doing anything in the beer industry. It was just to have fun with our friends.
It all started pretty simple.
One big 10-gallon kettle is how we started.
Let's tour the facility with Brant. For all you non-brewers out there, I'm going to give you the most condensed version of how beer is made as Brant explained it to me. Step 1. Grain and water go into the mash tun to create fermentable sugars from the starches in the grain, with time and heat. The grain is then strained out and the liquid is transferred to step number 2, the kettle, to be sterilized through boiling, and this is where the hops are added. After that, we go into the whirlpool to spin, kind of like a washing machine, to filter out the solids. In step 4, it is pumped through a heat exchange, and this kills any microorganisms. The yeast is then added in line, and then it goes to step number 5, the tank, where it sits and ferments into the beer we love. Now that you know a little more about the brewing process, we're gonna dive into the Austin Brothers story. As you heard earlier, this all started for fun. But what you don't know is that the Austin family moved 2,500 miles across country to make this happen.
Born and raised California, kind of got burned out on the lifestyle and looking for a place for my whole family to move to. So we went on a motorhome trip for 2 summers, going through 47 states.
We were going up to 75 and we wanted to see a Great Lake and put our feet in it. So going up to 75, my dad said left or right, I was always the navigator. Ran out of daylight at Alpena and we came into town, had breakfast. We had no intentions of staying here. It was just a spot to sleep, and then we thought it was a cool town, so we stayed a couple extra days and then just kind of fell in love with it.
Passion is such an integral part of this operation, but one thing I really admire is their ability to adapt and follow their hearts.
We had the intent of moving here with no intention of doing a brewery at all. That was not even on the table. I was gonna go work at a golf course. My brother was talking about working at a hospital as a nurse. When he was going through nursing school, he decided he didn't want to be a nurse anymore. And he came to my dad and myself and pitched, hey, I really like home brewing. Wouldn't it be cool to open a microbrewery in Alpena?
Not only is their story phenomenal, so is their product. With fresh meat smoked daily, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention how amazing their food was. The next time you find yourself on the Sunrise side of the state, check out Austin Brothers Beer Co. because they're one fantastic beer made in Michigan.